Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. How is everybody doing? Massive news on the Chiesa front with Di Marzio reporting that Juventus have put Chiesa up for sale and that Roma is the team which has shown more interest up to now. Also, Ghisolfi has landed in Rome yesterday evening. Today he had a meeting, a sat-down meeting with Lina, with Dan and with Daniele De Rossi, to plan, to put names on a piece of paper, to understand the direction that De Rossi kind of wants to bring his team, the tactics, the formation, which is going to help in terms of new picks. And then the last thing which I want to talk about is Mourinho's statements yesterday, saying that being the manager of Roma has brought no ambition to him, and that bringing this team to 2 European finals, but at the same time never managing to get more than 5th or 6th position is a massive lack of ambition. And I will definitely give my opinion on that because I will spoil it. I've been very disappointed by that man in these past hours. Right, number one, it's the summer. I gotta turn the AC on or I will die. Right, I want to start with Chiesa. Because... in fact, no, I want to start with a like target. 100 likes on this video and Chiesa joins us this summer. I have said it. I've been saying this since we started talking about Chiesa. I really see this happening. I saw this happening a few weeks ago. I can really see this happen now. I think the paths have aligned. All we need right now is to put the money. If we put the money, Chiesa is ours this summer. Remember, I said this because I really think that... it might happen, and there's a lot of reality in this. Do the like, also subscribe if you haven't already. Where do we start? So, Di Marzio, very, very big source, probably the second most reliable source after Fabrizio Romano. He's reported yesterday evening how Juventus have put Chiesa up for sale. It's confirmed. Chiesa does not kind of reintegrate in Thiago Motta's plans. And Roma is the team who's shown the most interest in Chiesa, with De Rossi being a big admirer of him and Chiesa being very kind of affascinato in Italian we say. He's curious about how it could go in Rome, and it's an environment and a team that kind of brings a lot of curiosity in him. There is no negotiation, a deal has not been opened, talks have not been opened, it's just a matter of interest. But Roma have shown a lot of interest in him. Which I don't think it's surprising, because I think every single summer the Fredkins aim at getting one, if not two, one big signing, and I think Chiesa would be an absolutely incredible signing for this team. I am also a fond believer of, if he is the number one pick that our manager wants, if with Chiesa De Rossi is going to be 80% satisfied, not that Chiesa is going to resolve all our problems, that's not what I'm saying, but if De Rossi's number one pick is Chiesa and we manage to satisfy his number one pick, I think it's going to be really good. Again, speaking of the player, we can't say anything about him. He runs the game. He's great on the ball with his feet. He kind of dribbles the ball into the box. He wins those fouls. He wins penalties. He's got that. It's the Chiesa shot, that turning on the right foot and then shooting. He's the player we need if this is the formation direction where we want to bring this, this team to in terms of tactics. I think he's the perfect take. He's the perfect take because if we want to play with a 4-3-3, then playing with a 4-3-3 is where Chiesa is kind of flourishes. It's where prime Chiesa comes. And also the great thing about Chiesa is that when Dybala isn't here, Chiesa can play in the position of Dybala. So I think, considering the money that Juventus are asking for it, this would be kind of criminal not to do. 25 million is the amount of money that they're asking for. 25 million for a player like Chiesa in my opinion, is a steal. It can't be defined in any other way rather than a steal. It's a bargain. 25 million euros for a player who is coming from one of the best teams in Italy. Maybe not in these last years, but Juventus. He's won the Euros a few years ago. Yes, he tore his ACL, and that's the reason why his value dropped. But you can't tell me that Chiesa isn't back after that injury. He's not back at the levels of 2021, of course, because otherwise Juventus would keep him. But Chiesa still runs the game. Chiesa still makes the difference. So not spending 25 million on him, in my opinion, when we have the chance to, when Juventus are kind of forcing a sale because they need the money to fuel up more signings, I think it would be criminal. If you're the Fredkins here, get that 25 million and put them on the table so we can secure him and give De Rossi his number one pick. That's the way I see it. I think it's a steal. 25 million is absolutely nothing for a player like him, especially if you consider the amount of money that we've spent in these past seasons for useless players. If you consider the fact that we've spent almost the same amount of money to sign Shomurodov as to we could potentially use to sign Chiesa, is wild. And it would kind of set the scene. Also on a not on a mediatic, but on an opinion point of view. Not even on an opinion point of view. I can't get the good term here. On a show point of view, starting the transfer window with Chiesa is gonna bring so much enthusiasm to the players, to the fans. Sorry, that it may be for Ghisolfi, it's gonna be easier to tackle other signings. Because if you present yourself and in the first 2 weeks of the transfer window you sign Chiesa, then you immediately put a massive player amongst the fans. So the fans are gonna automatically kind of, now that you bought Chiesa, expect a bit less from you, and it would also make you work better. It's better to do this than not buy anybody, feel the pressure for the fans, responsibility if you're Ghisolfi, who immediately came in, and then kind of get the signings at the end of the season. Also on a preseason level. Again, Chiesa's going to go at the Euros. I don't think Italy's going to win them. So I don't think he's... maybe it won't last the whole month for Chiesa. He's going to go to the Euros. So if we sign him, he will still miss a bit of the preseason, but not a lot. It's normal. It's football. So hopefully he does win the Euros. Hopefully he brings us another back-to-back trophy. So that's my take on Chiesa. And the other thing here, great comment from Owithi, is that Chiesa's wage bill is not high at all. I mean, it is high, of course, but it's not more than what Dybala, than what Lukaku earned. So I think this is a perfect signing on every single front. Adding on to this, I've repeated multiple times how De Rossi wants to try and create this Italianity into the team. It's not a term, but you can definitely see how De Rossi wants to recreate a team with predominantly a lot of Italian players. Whether you like this or not, I think it's got its benefits because the chemistry is going to be there. For example, if you've got Pellegrini, Mancini, Cristante, El Shaarawy, you add Chiesa to this lot, you add Bellanova to this lot, these guys know how to play together. So I also think on a chemistry point of view, it might be strategic to get players from the same country. Again, that might be my opinion, but yeah, I think it would be mad not to do this. Again, there are definitely going to be other clubs interested in him, but this is where I think what Di Marzio said is interesting, because he said how De Rossi really wants him and how Chiesa is really kind of is curious about this Roma experience, and that he's attracted by it. I think if everything aligns, and a lot of things have already aligned, the most important thing has aligned. The fact that he's not extending his contract with Juventus, the fact that he's up for sale, and the fact that he's not in the plans of Thiago Motta and that they're forcing to sell him, that is already the most important door has opened up. Now it's about putting the money and avoiding the competition. because I can tell you as a matter of fact that, actually maybe not. It depends if Kvara stays. If Kvara stays, then no, and Kvara is going to stay apparently. But if Napoli somehow sell Kvaratskhelia, then 99% Conte will ask for Chiesa. I don't think Napoli are going to sell him, but still, avoid competition. I know Liverpool are interested in him as well. So just anticipate everybody, put the money. We will need to invest. So if the owners are watching this video right now, you cannot get safe and you cannot survive another transfer window without you spending money. You need to spend, you need to invest. 25 million I keep getting this wrong. 25 million euros for Chiesa is a steal. So put that money on the table and get him. So yeah. With that being said, Ghisolfi has landed in Rome yesterday evening. I actually thought he was already in Rome, but apparently he had to go through a little more bureaucratic things to exit from Nice. He landed in Rome yesterday, so his new chapter has officially started. Today, he's had his meeting with Lina, with De Rossi, to kind of brainstorm, get the concept and the idea of where this team wants to go, what kind of identical players De Rossi is going to be interested in, and I think this is interesting. Look, I can only say to him, good luck. Because this is a very, very complicated environment to work in if you're a general and sporting director. It's kind of the opposite of a tranquil destination. This is an environment where if in the first week of the transfer window we don't get one signing, he will immediately feel the pressure from us fans. So this is complicated. This environment is complicated for managers, players, and directors. And what I'm scared is going to happen here, because we've seen it a million of times, is that we're not going to be patient with him, and we're going to burn him, and we're going to put so much pressure on him that he's going to speed rush his signings and not actually collaborate and communicate with De Rossi, which is the number one thing. It's important to sit down these days. These days the Trigoria is empty. No training sessions, no players. Players are in the Euros. Players are on holiday. Staff isn't there. Now that Trigoria is empty, because it's kind of the only period of the year where Trigoria is empty, I want to see De Rossi, Lina, Dan, and Ghisolfi to sit down, and I mean hours, days, weeks, speak with each other. Speak to each other, communicate, understand where we want to bring this team to, where we want to bring this squad to. Because the number one thing that we've lacked in these past 10 years is actually having a path to follow. Sit down, speak. Speak, understand where you want, what you want to do, how much money you will have. I know that there have been a lot of names being linked with us, and I really don't like this, because the transfer window hasn't even started and at least 87 names have been linked with us. From Chiesa to Calimundo to Tagliafico to Hummels this morning, moving on to Jonathan David, Seru Girassi, what's his name, Maldini. No, this is. I know that that's the media and that's all of what the media and the journalists are paid to do, but it just drives us crazy. I'm not sure how reliable this is, but apparently one of the players that Ghisolfi is most interested in bringing in is Calimundo from Rennes. Apparently he's somebody that has been sent and scouted by Totti. And I don't know why, but I read the word Messi in the article. I'm not sure if Messi kind of helped scouting this guy. I don't know who he is, to be very honest with you. I know he plays in the French league. He's played for Rennes. And apparently he's somebody that Ghisolfi might bring in. I hope he won't. I just hope he's not here for a first strike. If he comes, I hope he's not going to be here to kind of cover the first striker position. First striker, we need different profiles. We do. We can't get Callum Wendo as a starting striker. I will not like this. So yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, and then the last thing which I want to speak about is Mourinho. I don't like speaking about the past. I don't like speaking about players, managers who belong to the past. But I've been disappointed with what Mourinho has said. So basically, in yesterday's press conference, Mourinho basically said how I'm here at Fenerbahce because I'm here for ambition, and Fenerbahce means ambition. And he basically said, why would I stay at Roma where you're expected to pull miracles in Europe and then not get anything further than a 5th position? That is not what I call ambition. And look, and I'll stick with my words. You know me. I've been going live daily, on a daily basis for the past 3 years. I started this channel from when Mourinho was appointed. I love Mourinho. And I will forever keep the memories that he gave us in my heart. But I have never placed Mourinho above Roma. And nobody here should have ever placed Mourinho above Roma. Nobody should ever place an individual above Roma and the badge and the team, because we live in a world where everything goes, everything is here one day, and everything goes away the next day. The reality is that the only people who stay here is us and Roma. So, pending on the side of an individual and trying to make them bigger than the club is ridiculous. It's a mistake that I've made in the past. It's a mistake which everybody continues to make. And unfortunately, it's a mistake that we need to stop making. Now, I'm not surprised at what he said during his presentation in Fenerbahce. You know, that I'm not surprised by the fact that he used the same concepts during the Fenerbahce presentation as he did with us to connect with the fans. That's what a manager needs to do, connect with the fans. But I completely, and I mean I completely despise what he said about Roma lacks ambition, how am I asked to stay at a club which needs me to pull miracles in Europe, but then not go further than 5th position in the league. That is not ambition for me. I mean, look, if there's one thing that I hate in life, forget about Roma, forget about football, forget about everything football related. If there's one thing that I hate in life, is just it's controversy and hypocrisy. Like, hypocritical people is what it's my worst enemy in life. And I'm sorry, but the second I read these words, I'm like, hang on. Like, I don't forget things easily. Now, after that Bologna game back in December, where we lost 2-0, I remember Mourinho went in front of the microphones and was pleading the ownership to give him a contract extension. He was pleading the ownership to stay here, even at a cost of starting a new project with younger players, something that he's never done in his life. And you were telling me that 6 months after having done everything possible to get that contract extension, we have a man who is spitting in our plate and saying that this team has brought no ambition to him. Like, I am sorry, I love you, Jose, but fuck off. Like, fuck off. Because that is a clear example of lack of respect and, most importantly, lack of balance. Because you're acting like a kid here. You're acting like a kid who's like, I'm best friends with that guy. That guy stole the toy from me. I hate that guy. grow the fuck up. Like, I know that's you. I know that is your aura. I know that is the Mourinho aura. But for fuck's sake, man, stop spitting on this plate. Stop damaging this image that we've built to get. Forget about the Fredkins. Us fans aren't the Fredkins. Roma is not the Fredkins. The Fredkins are the owners of this club. Yes, you hate the Fredkins. I do too sometimes. But us fans are not the Fredkins. So why on earth? Why on the absolute earth here, all of a sudden, after having been the perfect match made in heaven, us fans with him, we've always loved you. We've always admired you. Why on earth does he need to spit in this plate? Why? What's the purpose of it? What is he gonna bring? Mate, you're speaking about ambition and you've gone to the fucking Turkish league. Ask yourself a few questions, mate. And look, this is what I just absolutely hate about the hypocrisy in this game is massive. We aren't Real Madrid, and I don't need Albert Einstein to prove to me that this team is Real Madrid. And this team, according to Mourinho, might not even be as ambitious as Fenerbahce. Fine, that's what he thinks. But you can't tell me 6 months after having done after having pleaded the ownership to stay here, you can't after 6 months go, oh well, you know, how can I stay at a club which lacks ambition? Like, I just don't get this. And unfortunately, I hoped that the relationship between us and Mourinho had ended in a better note. But I look, he's playing with fire here. Because if he continues spitting in my plate, then there is nothing that can make me love this guy. There isn't. I love him because he's made me live memories which probably for the next 5 years will never live again. But move on. You've been sacked. I was sorry too the day he was sacked. But I've moved on. You should move on as well. Why on earth are you still here, being appointed at a new club, spitting on this plate? Why? What's the purpose of it? What is it going to bring? What is it going to bring to you? What is it going to bring to us? So get Roma, get us, get Roma players, get the wolf of Roma out of your mouth and start focusing on Fenerbahce. Because I will tell you this now, the more he does this, the more he's playing with fire. And the more he continues to do this, the more there's one thing that we can do. I can do, for sure, despise him. Because Roma stays, players, managers, owners, go. And we need to stick this in our mind. And the last thing we're trying to say is, you know, to any Mourinho fan who's watching this and wants to hate on me. But the one thing that I'll say here is, so we Roma fans can't say anything about Mourinho, but Mourinho can say everything he wants about us. That's not the way this world works. That's not the way society works. That's the way a dictatorship works. If Mourinho says shit about me, I say shit about Mourinho. You cannot expect me to keep praising him and keep kind of admiring him if all he does is shit on us. That's not what I can do. That's not what I can do in life with a friend, with girls, with anything. Like, just move on. Please move on. Please move on, because this glass ball that we've created with Mourinho is about to shatter. It is. It is. It is. And I don't want to hear anything about this. It is. Because the biggest mistake that we've made in these past seasons was actually having called him a Roma fan. That is the biggest mistake that we have made. The biggest mistake was to elude ourselves in and thinking that Mourinho was the biggest of Roma fans. Because this is who Mourinho is. He moves, he goes away, and he completely forgets the values and the traditions of the past. I know that Mourinho's salty, and I understand him. I fully understand that he's salty, and I fully understand that he didn't digest the way he got sacked. I understand this. And Jose, trust me, you're still in my heart. You will forever be in my heart. But you need to move on. Because you're lacking coherence here. You are. And I will end it on this note. Hopefully Chiesa joins us. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm sorry if I didn't read many comments, but I've drove this live stream a bit too much today, speaking about a few things. Right, I'm gonna catch you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the like. Go watch my reaction to my Serie A predictions, which I posted yesterday. 200 likes on that video, I will film my predictions this summer. Yeah, hit the like on this video. 100 likes and Chiesa joins us. Subscribe, follow Roma Theory TV on Instagram, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. And let me know in the comments your opinions on the topics that we touched today. Simo out.